Hi everyone, just a reminder that I am Samantha Wolf. I did a report on PenPal Schools for our collaborative pieces that are interactive. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about our different articles, and then I'm going to go into PenPal Schools. The other thing that I wanted to remind you of is that I teach second grade at Riverside Elementary, which is part of Reading School District. So what I'm about to say, I don't think I can use in my classroom, but I think that this could be a useful tool for students that are older in age. So when I read the social presence model article, it had the 5 main key points. First part was effective association, and I really picked up the fact that we need to build communities through reading this article. The second section was community cohesion, and the part that I picked out the most out of this piece of the article was positivity and really creating a positive environment for students. The third section was about interaction intensity, and I think that I thought back to the past year, and in 2020 there were very many unclear expectations that were set forth about participation levels for our students, and I think that made it very rough for teachers because there were no expectations for our students specifically, and we couldn't hold our students accountable for work or even participation. Um, I also wrote down in my notes that I have never thought about students that have gone from going in a face-to-face building or brick and mortar setting to then moving to a virtual setting and them actually trying to recruit their friends from the brick and mortar setting to move towards being virtual, whether it be through a virtual academy, through their district and public education, or a different type of setting. So that point really stuck out to me. I highlighted it in my text. I also wrote it in my notes. The fourth section, knowledge and experience. I feel like the part that again stuck out to me the most was that if a teacher has students explain an unclear concept to other students. Sometimes I feel like you can teach and teach and teach, and you try and teach different methods or different ways. Students still aren't getting it. If you take that step back and let another student try and explain it to their classmates, sometimes it just makes it click. I know that this has been the case for me in grad school. Sometimes I can read a text and I'm so one-sided about how I'm reading it, and then I read someone else's response and I'm like, oh wow, that's a completely new way of looking at it. And the last part is the instructor involvement, just like Ollie said when he was giving his speech, his video at the beginning of our module this time. He said that he is very involved. The greater involvement from the instructor, I feel the more successful it will be. Our students will be. When I was reading the chapter 5 article, this quote really stuck out in my brain. I put it my PowerPoint on page 108. It says, effective instruction always begins with an examination of curricular goals and then lesson objectives. Next, you might consider the particular value added outcome from collaboration itself. Obviously, we all know how to write lessons. We all have jobs that require us to write lessons. But looking at these collaboration tools, I was sitting back going, how are we going to grade this? What does it look like? How do students show that they're working? How are students working together? How do we look at this and see, are they being successful? What do I need to change to make them more successful? So that quote stuck out to me a lot. And then I do have some points from the chart on page 109 and 110 that also tie into my collaboration tool. So on page 109, under the section that's titled Outreach and Authentic Experience, I feel that PenPal Schools would be really good at hitting this point because you could have a discussion about cultures, you can have a discussion about the countries that students are from and the geography of the world and the collaboration of all of the students that are presenting on this specific topic. And this will make more sense once I explain what PenPal Schools is. I also feel that this would tie into on page 110 under demonstrating mastery, our student-led discussion, because what's happening in PenPal Schools is students are getting information, they're synthesizing the information, and then from there they're responding with discussion and text through PenPal collaboration. So PenPal Schools Teacher is free. You create your login information. You can use your Google information to log in. There's an interest survey for teachers. It asks you the age of your students and the subjects that are taught. My recommendations are that for middle school ages or higher, there is a bracket for 8 and up, 10 and up, and 12 and up. But I felt the texts were very challenging. There is an option where the teacher can change the reading level, but I did not notice that the text or the Lexile level changed when I clicked that button. And teachers can also preview and enroll students into classes. From a student side, they're reading a topic, writing a response. Your first response has a 200-character minimum. After that, you have responding to 3 students. The students that they're responding to could be within your class, or it could be on a global setting. When they do the responses, it's a 50-character minimum, and they're using the knowledge that they gained then to post in a project as well. So this is what it looks like for teachers. I logged in as myself, and I chose oceans because it was the first thing that came up that I thought was super interesting. So what happens is you can click a new classroom and create a new classroom if you want. But if you go into Oceans, it's going to show you PenPal highlights. It'll ask you to verify, but you can manage your students, preview lessons, you can invite parents to be part of this, and you can grade students' work. This is the part that I thought was super interesting and helpful for me. All I can do is here are the topics that I had responded with as myself as a student. So all about the ocean, protecting the ocean, and when you click in here, then you can see my original post and you can see my 3 responses. From a student standpoint, when they log in, this is what it looks like. You can complete your profile. This is one of my dislikes. It asks you some very private information, so it would be important to talk to your students about that. When you're loading in the students, this is the final project goals, and this is where it would come up that you would learn. And when you are learning, it shows videos and articles about whatever your topic is that your class is learning about. And then it poses a question and you answer the question. You can see this person her name's Phoenix, or his name's Phoenix. They're from New Zealand, and you can view the question and the answer. So questions: what ocean's nearest to you? Describe the wildlife that lives there and the role that ocean plays in people's lives, which is found in the text that's listed below. Okay, so pretty straightforward. It is a PenPal system that's virtual. I hope you guys have a great day.